I uh, I got a question about this dirt tire rut thing, and I don't remember what I said in this. I don't even really want to watch it. I rather just remake it with what I know now. I might have said something wrong in there, and it'd just be easier to remake that video. So in a in your user folder, if there's not one, make a folder called art, and inside of there, you'll put these textures. Now, I'm not sure which one I used exactly. I got the main dot material here, so I'm just going to copy this to my clipboard, and I'll share this in the file. You're going to also need the ground models also. So what I'm going to do is just make a folder for these, and put the ground models folder in there too. Just copy them into there, and then in the level that you want to try this in, you'll need to load the level in your world editor and save level. That'll put a version of it in here, like East Coast. You could just make the folder, that's fine too. You just have to name it what the developers named their level, exactly how they got it. But in here you'll see ground models, so that's what you need to add to your level. So we'll copy that into there. So now what I'll do is I will rename my user folder. This is not something you have to do. This is what I'm doing, so I can basically say whether or not this works like it's supposed to without any problem. So rename this to something like that. That way when you load the game, it'll make a new user folder, and you pretty much starting without any mods or anything on. A clean slate. You have to redo all your settings, of course, if you want to keep using that. But I do this to test things. Sometimes it just seems to be a good way to test it. That way you can pretty much guarantee it's going to work for other folks, but not always. Ugh. So just load East Coast. Or we'll do a different one. Let's do Johnson Valley and kind of see how it works on the sand. I got to start getting at least like one tutorial per day made. I gotta try to make myself do it. I have not made many. I've been pretty busy. But if I try to set a goal to do one per day, at least 6 days a week, I think I'll be doing a little better at getting these things done. Alright, so we're going to the world editor, and we'll save level right here. Let me adjust this real quick so you can see better. I always have to do this when hell, I can't even see that. And I'm looking at my screen. I always put sliders, use sliders in Inspector. It makes it easier to just grab something and scroll it like that. The only problem is it starts to cut off stuff. Some of the menus you can't move stuff like that so easily. That's the only thing with making the scale bigger. It does seem to cut things off a bit. So we saved level. Now we go back to our user folder to the .36, which now appears there, and there should be a folder called levels. Oh, I didn't save it yet. There it is. See, levels. And there's Johnson Valley. And then inside of here is where we're going to put that ground models folder. Now what the ground models folder basically is doing is it's only allowing skid marks on surfaces that normally would not get them, like dirt, snow, sand, grass, anything that is other than something rough like asphalt. Only problem is it's going to also do the asphalt, which you may not want. You would want to tell that to turn skid marks off for that one, since I don't know how to make multiple variations of this work at the same time. So copy the ground models folder into there. Now what you're going to do is go back to .36, and inside of here you'll need to make a folder called art. And inside of there you're going to want to put this stuff that I put in that folder. That's the wrong thing. Hold on a minute. I've got the wrong damn folder. Oh, I'm in the right place. So put them in the art folder in your level. Now open the material.json. Now this default material stuff, this is their stuff, the same. The only one that I affected, the only one that I did any changing to was tire track. Now do you see how it's got this stuff here? So it's pointing to the art folder for this stuff. And that should be all it needs to work right now. If I reload the level, it should work. But I have a feeling that it's not going to, because for some reason this material.json, it seems like it only works when you actually save the material on your computer. So let's just try it and see. Like, I know it's not going to work now. The game's running and whatnot. I don't think we can just update right away and that work. I'll try it though, but I don't think that's going to happen. Exit the world editor with F11, and we'll try to reload the Lua script. Now this damn thing takes a long time to exit out. For some reason, Johnson Valley, when you exit the world editor, it sometimes can take a minute to exit. I'm gonna hit Control L and then see if that reloads Lua, even though it's not a Lua. It may help. If it doesn't, it'd have to be reloaded again and while reloaded, right? The ground models folder is working because you see the skid marks on the dirt. Just got to replace those with our markers. Which it should be working now. Think it is. No, so it's like I thought. It's got to write on some damn data block or something. So open the world editor and then go into the material editor. Right there, material editor. I like to put mine up there like that. And just search for tire. and then scroll down till you see tire track. Now, even though this is in the art folder, wait a minute, that's in decals. Why is that one loading there? I don't know. But what I do know is it needs to load my stuff instead. So without having to see exactly how I did this with redoing it all, let's just see what I put and just put these images where they go. So first of all, the baked tire D.png. Let me get this over here. God damn it. Alright, so first one, well, it's PBR for one thing, so I'll switch to PBR. What's in base color map? Art, bake, let's just do it in order. Ambient occlusion, that will be baked tire AO. It'd been better if I used DDS, but well, we're already here. I should be able to drag and drop that stuff into there without having to navigate every time if I just load the asset browser. Because the assets should be in there, and it's easier to just drag and drop them. Too bad you can't do that with PBR terrain paints. That'd make life too easy. Alright, so scroll up to out of here. It won't let you out of here, will it? It sure won't. Thought it did. Yeah, it don't let you out of there. For whatever reason, I don't know. Alright, so back to the other idea. Just to manually load them. So, ambient occlusion. Art. There they are. Baked tire normal. Alright, what's the next one? Base color map. Baked tire D. Normals. Baked tire normals. Opacity map. Baked tire underscore D2. Roughness. Baked tire R2. Ambient occlusion. Let's see what's the settings for the. So it's using LERP alpha. It's in advanced. That's already set. And Z-Write's on. I don't know if it should be on though. Let's just see what we get when we save it. I might have to adjust some things, but we're already there pretty much. And that's pretty much it. If you want to put this in another level, then all you would need to do is make a folder for that level. It's easier to just load the level in free roam, like Hiroshi Raceway, for example, and then save the level. That'll set you up with all the folder that you need as far as moving the ground models folder into there. So while it's loading, you can go to your folder that I shared, the ground models folder, and copy it to your clipboard. And then once the level loads and gets saved, paste that folder in there. Some of this is a 3D model. It's not all terrain block. Or is it? I know one of these, part of the thing is like terrain block, and part of it's not. And so you're not going to get like skid marks on a model. Let me see. Nope, that is terrain. Probably got to reload it since the level was already loaded when we put that ground model in there. Let me try to rebuild the collisions and see if that helps, and then Control L, see if that can work. Sometimes it will. The only reason you see them on skid marks on the asphalt is because, well, that's the default anyway. They're supposed to be skid marks on asphalt. Okay, well, that's all you had to do then. One of the two, probably rebuild collisions or Control L if the level's already loaded. Now, if you want this to look more appropriate for grass and not dirt, you can easily just change the texture by loading it back into here. Change the time of day. Get it a little bit more where we can see better. Why isn't that scrolling over? It's cutting that off. Well, there's another way to do it. I don't know why it's doing that. No start time. There we go. That's better. So pull up that tire track. And then just adjust the color. Whatever. If you want it to be snow or ice, well, you'd want to get rid of probably that dirt color and just stick to a neutral gray, you know, like that for snow. But make it a little darker so that it's not so white. And that would be more like your sand or your snow. And then for grass usually is like dirt brown up underneath it. You could just pick a brown like that, or you could put a texture in there. You know, like where the dirt gets kicked up and there's still grass, but there's also dirt there now. And you can adjust the amount of alpha, but that's done through the opacity map. If you want it to be very faint and not so much there. But anyway, you got roughness you can adjust. You also can have it reflecting too. If it's not a roughness map, it probably would reflect alright, depending on what you're trying to go for. You may have to adjust it a bit. You don't want it to look too much like a skid mark. That's the whole point of making it so it's not a skid mark. Let's try that. Kind of hard to see. I think it looks as good as deformation can get to not be real deformation. You can do other stuff with it too. I mean, it depends on what all you're trying to do. I like to try to experiment, make different things, do different things and whatnot, but um, Not sure if animate works. Probably don't. Yeah, that's not moving at all. I didn't think it would. I thought I'd try it. Oh, I didn't even save for some reason. Oh, that's the wrong damn material. That dummy. Yeah, it's not going. It's not going to animate. I was thinking like, Back to the Future, lightning, on the ground kind of thing. That's what I was kind of thinking when I thought animation. Now that would have to be done with a particle if you're going to do that. As far as the lightning going before the car gets there, I mean, like ahead of the car, you'd have to have a particle emitting that from where both wheels are, shooting out straight across. That'd be kind of cool to see. But anyway, I think that's it for this. I think that pretty much explains it. Oh, the link. I'll put the link to these things I just showed you too in the zip file and put it on OneDrive.